Hello everyone and welcome to Retail Archaeology. Today we'll be taking a look at the First Plaza Galeria in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now believe it or not, there's actually a little mall underneath this building. Dotted all around the building are these entrances that go down into the Galleria part of the mall, which is a below street level little mall that is really interesting to look at. You can see there it says that there's apparel shops, art galleries, gift shops, those type of things, but as we'll see, there's really not much of that left. Now, I've never seen a mall like this before where it's underneath a building, and I'm wondering if that might be part of the problem as to why this place is so dead, is because maybe people just don't know about it. The first thing that struck me was that parquet wood flooring. That is gorgeous. It's pretty worn, but it's beautiful. And we can take a quick look at the map here and see, like I said, this place is not very big, but I guess that's to be expected for a mall that's underground. Now that's another way, and that's from some underground parking that leads up into the mall, and we can see here the very first suite that you come upon is empty. And there's a little skylight there up to the street level. There's also neon lighting all around this mall, but a lot of it unfortunately doesn't work. You can see even what is working is broken in a lot of spots. This building's considered one of the most architecturally important buildings in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was built in 1972 and was designed by architect Harry Weiss, who actually has designed quite a few buildings and interesting things all over the United States and actually all over the world. It's definitely an architect worth looking into. Now, like I said, the mall opened in 1972, and I don't know that much of it has been updated since then. I have to imagine this flooring is original, as is this fountain that we're coming up upon here in the center point of the mall, and this was absolutely a delight to see. When I had looked up reviews in this place, a lot of them said that the fountain had been turned off and was dead, so I was really happy to see it running. And it goes right up to a skylight. That is gorgeous. The flickering lights, not so much. Unfortunately, the flickering lights and everything in the low lighting played havoc with my camera and the image stabilization, so unfortunately some of the footage I've got here is shaky, but I'm showing you the best footage that I got. Man, I do love mall fountains though. You can see it's just surrounded by empty storefronts and restaurant fronts. I think that snack machine and Coke machine there are probably the only food options I think left open here, unfortunately. When this place opened, like the sign suggested, it was meant for like high-end art galleries and restaurants and things like that, and it had those for a time, but over the years, as downtown Albuquerque has struggled, so has this mall. Here's another map that we can take a look at, and I like this one because it looks very aesthetic to me, even down to the turquoise coloring there. Or is that cyan? It might be cyan. Also, tons of live plants. I love that too. Now that massage place there is one of the few businesses that is still open. And there's also a gym, which I guess you could consider the mall's anchor. It's still open as well. It's not just the little subterranean mall that's suffering, the entire building is actually struggling as well. For example, one of the building's biggest tenants was the Gap. They had a corporate services center here and they leased like over 100,000 square feet, and they moved that out in 2014. Here's a look into that old barber and beauty shop, and I love that wood paneling on the wall and that mirror. It's unfortunate to see this place closed. I love the beams along the ceiling too. This whole mall is just awesome. It was my wife and my kid and I that were here, and for the most part we had this whole place to ourselves. There were a few other people that passed through, but that was it. This restaurant's actually been closed since 2014. I actually found a newspaper article with an interview of the owner, and he closed up in 2014 shortly after the Gap left because he said he saw the writing on the wall. That restaurant had originally opened in 1984. I hope they're still open wherever it was they moved to. I'm guessing this old shoe shine booth doesn't operate anymore, and I don't think I've seen one of these since I used to see them in airports when I was a kid. Oh look, we found the security office. And it was interesting to find the cage down in the middle of the day. Looks like this just used to be an old storefront. I wonder what used to be in here. And there's an art gallery that seemed to be operating, I think. They might have been closed for lunch or something. I love big windows like that. I bet that was another art gallery. So many flickering lights. This other portion of the mall, where the escalators were and everything, was also just a visual treat. The escalators are really pretty with the brass on them. I haven't seen that in ages. And right above them is this huge skylight. And that's the courtyard of the building there that skylight looks out to. Now, fortunately, these escalators don't work anymore. They've done the whole block them off with mall plant things. But some of the few videos on YouTube of this mall are actually just of the escalator specifically, and they're working in those videos. So if you want to see that, you can look that up. Now, the elevators were also really beautiful. Look at that. The wood's almost reflective. And I have to imagine this is all original, too, to when the mall opened. They were also very smooth to ride, these elevators, and very fast as well. Now we can get a really awesome look at those escalators. You don't see that often anymore. But up here it's the same story, just tons of empty storefronts. Up on this level there were a lot of like boutique bakeries and cafes and things like that, and it doesn't look like any of them have survived either. I really do love the whole design of this place. It's almost kind of eerie, this shot with the escalators not running. Now we're back outside here, and this domed skylight here we're looking at, that's actually the one that's above that fountain we saw at the beginning of the video. Unfortunately, you can't really see the fountain very well through it. But I did want to show this other fountain that's up here in the courtyard. It was a really beautiful day, so it was just insane that there was nobody even out here. I didn't realize how badly downtown Albuquerque was struggling until I had come here. Here's another one of the exterior entrances that you can walk down a stairwell into the Galleria Mall down below. I like the whole building above ground too. I like the different shapes of the windows and everything. It's very visually interesting. It's just unfortunate that even stuff up here at street level couldn't make it. You would think this would be the perfect place for like a little donut shop or something. So I love stuff like that, that circle window. There's even checker print floor in there. It's really unfortunate to see this place like this. I'm just glad that it hasn't been updated yet and that I had a chance to document it before that happens. This building's been up for sale several times, including Bernalillo County was thinking about buying it at one point, but that deal fell through and they purchased another building nearby. So as far as I know, this building's still up for sale. So much brass, I love that. And wood paneling and parquet floors. This place is gorgeous. We'll wrap it up here taking one last look at this fountain. I love this. This is, I think, probably the best part of the mall here. If you have any memories of shopping at this mall, I'd love to hear those down in the comments below. As always, everyone, thanks for watching. Want to see your name here? Head on over to patreon.com/retailarchaeology to find out how you can help support the channel. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my video on a weird little dead mall in New Mexico. If you enjoyed it, I've got good news because I filmed a few other malls while I was in New Mexico. Also, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you're not a subscriber already, and to follow at the social media links there because that's the best way to keep up with what's going on with the channel.